Okay, so today's video is going to be about why you shouldn't gut your car as I'm gutting my car. Let me explain. So we've all been there, right? You know, the first, easiest, cheapest mod you can do to your car is to simply take the interior out. Weight savings, bro, you know, because race car and such. Well, the problem is that gutting your daily driver is literally like the worst thing you could ever do. It is going to save you such a small amount of weight to the pain in the ass amount that it's going to give you. So the problem is, while it may be sick at the time and it may save you a little bit of weight and it'll feel like a race car, at the end of the day, when you're driving around in the sun with no AC or in the winter with no heat and your car is rattling like crazy and the downpipe's melting the floor, it's not worth it. Now, I'm not talking about all cars. I'm talking about daily drivers. Like, this is your only car and you strip the door panels off, the carpet out. That is where you're going wrong. Now this car, even my Miata, I'm keeping the carpet, keeping the door panels, I'm keeping the center console, I'm keeping everything I can until I have to get rid of it for a cage because it makes the car way more comfortable to drive. Now, I know I can tell you guys this and you're not gonna listen to me because you're gonna have to kind of experience it yourself. Everyone wants a race car. I did it. I completely gutted my car and drove around a car with a cage, no interior, full roll cage for about 3 months in the middle of summer. It was horrible. Absolutely terrible. But me telling you this, you're probably not going to listen to me. You're probably going to have to figure it out yourself. But let me just give you some facts as to why you probably shouldn't do it. Now, the main reason I'm doing a lot of the interior removal that I'm doing is just the behind the dash stuff because I'm not going to use it anyway. Because I did take the AC out and I bypassed the heater core to make things a little more simple. Same with all this stuff. If I remove all this, I remove everything behind the dash, that opens up a lot more room, therefore making things more simple, which is the whole goal of all of this, is to keep things as simple and easy to work on as possible, because it being a drift car, it's going to break a lot. Now, if this were my daily driver, I wouldn't be doing any of this. The heater, the AC, everything would still be in there and I would try to make it work. If the AC didn't work, I'd try to fix it, because it's kind of crucial as a daily driver. It may seem cool to gut it and not have any of that, but in reality, it just makes things so much more difficult and the car so much less comfortable to live with on a daily basis. So there's this long time notion basically that gutting your car makes it more of a race car, just like people with aftermarket suspension think that stiff spring rates lead to better performance because you're sacrificing comfort over here for performance over here. But that's not always the case. Damn it. What I mean by that is, yes, you are gaining performance out of gutting your car, but the amount you gain as opposed to the amount you give is not at all proportionate. Like, you give this much to gain about this much. It's raining really, really hard now. It's gonna make this talk thing kind of difficult. So I'm not saying that you're wrong for wanting to gut your race car. We've all done it. We've all wanted that feel, and it's the easiest, cheapest thing you can do to get that feel that your car is now a race car. It's a track car. It's a dedicated racing machine because race car. But I'm here to tell you that what you give up is not worth what you get back. And it's not really reversible. Once you start ripping this stuff out of your car, it's not that easy to put it back in or find the stuff to put it back in. So my opinion is there's a lot of other things you should worry about first. I've seen people spend all this time cutting weight and then leave their jack and tools in their car when they go drifting, which completely negates all the weight savings they did. Now, I know you guys are going to say, well, Taylor, you're gutting your car right now. Well, one, my car isn't my daily driver. This is really mainly referring to daily drivers. This is something you gotta live with day in and day out. My daily driver is bone stock. It's not even lowered, so I can go over speed bumps at 40 miles an hour if I want. It doesn't matter. Now, the reason this car is getting this is because the AC didn't work. I'm not really gonna use it because it's gonna put more strain on the motor on a hot day. So, which I already had overheating issues with anyway. So all I'm doing is removing this stuff for simplicity's sake. So I have more room behind the dash, it's easier to get to wiring, it's easier to do stuff. Not because I'm gonna save weight. The weight of these pieces that I just took out, literally nothing. Like, this is going to gain me nothing but room and simplicity. It's fine. It's fine. Camera's fine. Now, I'm not here to tell you that you can't gut your car or anything like that. I know you guys are gonna say, oh, well, I do it because I like it, I don't care. That's fine. I'm just trying to give you the insight that I wish I had when I was 17 years old and I decided to take all the interior out of my car and drive around in the summer for 3 months. It wasn't fun. I don't want to do it again. Now, there are some things like this airbag that are quite a lot of weight. This thing's pretty hefty. So I've removed this piece from the dash off of the airbag. I just kind of broke this little strap thing that went from somewhere to somewhere, and then unbolted this thing from this bracket here. Yeah, I'm not sure what all that's for. I hope I can put this back on so my dash doesn't look stupid. Also, I'm ripping off the remnants of this Hula Girl. I don't want to because it's gonna rip the dash right here, but I felt like I had a little bit of bad luck with this car. And then the last time I had a Hula Girl on the dash, we spent overnight trying to put a cage in a car and do a new turbo setup, and it went horribly wrong, and my friend broke his finger, and then the car broke at the event. So in my mind, Hula Girls are bad luck. So I don't really want a broken Hula Girl on my dash. Sticker will cover that. So this fits back in. I just got to find a way to secure it. I'm probably gonna, whenever I do wiring in this car, put a relay box back here and make this where you can open it and get to the relay box. But for now, I'll just find some way to fasten it. Oh god, you stay put. So I dug into my sticker collection and I found this sticker. It's some sticker that I got from a friend who went to Norway. It's some drift club in Norway. So I thought it'd be a pretty cool sticker to put there, and it's like the perfect size. Close enough. Alright guys, so I wasn't able to finish up the video last night. I went to dinner, I was tired, it was late. So today I'm going to finish taking this stuff out of the interior of the Miata, get the dash ready to go back in. Once the dash is in, then the motor's ready to go back in. So this is a crucial step in finishing this up. Okay, it's kind of in the garage for now. I just wanted to push it in here so we can get it in the shade. It's hot out there. Basically what we're doing here, let's see if I can't fix this. That old clip was out of focus, I'm sorry. Moving this, this, and this. All right, so I'm gonna wrap up yesterday's thoughts with, let me put these out here. With, I'm not saying don't gut your car. I'm not saying you shouldn't. If that's something you want to do, then by all means go for it. I've seen a lot of people I know that, and I've done it myself, where you get a car and you're like, yeah, this is awesome, I'm gonna gut this car and this is gonna be great in race car, and then for some reason you need to sell it down the line, and there's a lot fewer people that want a full-blown stripped track car, drift car, whatever it is, than people who want a car that has interior that's actually comfortable to drive on the street. Then they end up stuck with these cars and they end up losing a ton of money on them just simply because they stripped the interior out. So if you're gonna do it, make it reversible. At least leave yourself enough stuff to put it back together if you want. I mean, those are my thoughts on it. Let me know what you guys think in the comment. Let me know if you gutted a car. Let me know if you daily drive a gutted car, how it feels living with it. I'm curious your input, but from my experience, it never really works out. Like, even this car is a track car. I don't daily drive it, I don't have to drive it, and I'm still gonna keep most of this interior in it for as long as I can until I cage it. I don't really know how to take any of this out. Just kind of going for it. This seems to be working quite well. Maybe. think there's another bolt that I'm missing. Yep. Is there another one? That's it. I wish I could. See, this is not what you would do if you're gonna gut your car like I'm talking about. You would maintain this stuff and not break it in case you want to put it back in. Alright, we're gonna go with force. That works. So that's all I'm saying in regards to that. I don't want you guys to think that I'm attacking anybody who does that or saying that it's stupid or anything like that. I'm simply trying to help you guys avoid making the same mistakes I've made. So yeah, I just don't want you guys to end up like a lot of people I know have and end up stuck with a car you can't get rid of, and you go to take your girlfriend on a date and she's not happy that she gets to wherever she's going and she smells like gear oil and that had water in it. It was the heater core. Yeah, that kind of sucked. My leg's wet. Well, if you're taking your heater core out, you should know it's probably going to have water in it. I know that now. That actually was way quicker than I thought. As you can see, all the stuff that I wanted to take out is pretty much out, which means the dash is about ready to go back in. Another thing to be very careful with when you're gutting the interior of your car, if you're going to do it, is don't just go ripping wires out, don't just go cutting wires out, because while you may not be using something, like you may not be using this and you go to just cut that out, that could complete a circuit for something else you are using. And when you start getting into that, you're in for an absolute world of not funness. Anybody who's dealt with wiring a lot, especially like factory wiring, knows that it's not fun. So I would suggest not doing that. I don't know if you can see how sweaty I am. Florida humidity is no joke. So this is everything I removed. This pretty much means no heat, no AC, no boiler motor, like even just vents with nothing. This is all that's gone, and this is probably, I mean, its heater core is probably a solid 10 pounds max. This blend door is probably about 10. The actual boiler motor is probably about 10. That's being on the high end, I would think. I'm just guesstimating. So this is less than 50 pounds, all this. I mean, these weigh literally nothing at all. Okay, now we're going to tackle this wiring mess. So my original plan was to give you guys kind of like a quick in-depth look at wiring, like what connectors you should use, what you shouldn't use, how to solder, all that, but I'm not really prepared and I really want to get this done. So that'll be a lesson for another date. If you want to see it, let me know specifically if there's anything you guys want to know about wiring. Try to include it. I'm by no means an expert. I just know my way around it enough to get by, but I do know, you know, enough of the do's and don'ts. So we'll have a discussion about that soon. So I'm gonna tackle this mess so the dash is ready to go back in, because this is gonna be much easier to deal with while I can just stand here and work on it. So I'm gonna do that real quick, or at least try to, and then yeah, so this is what it looks like now. Alright, so it's not as clean as I wanted it to be. I soldered all of these together. These are basically the speaker wires going to this amp. Instead of a head unit, I just have an amp with an aux input. So I soldered those and one other wire, but this mess I'm gonna have to deal with while it's in the car, because basically what was done is there's one power wire, which is key on that little guy down there, that runs to this, which then splits off to this, to this, to this, to this. Like, this is bad. So what I'm gonna have to do is go in there and find some more power wires to run to like a distribution block or something, maybe a relay for the higher powered stuff, and clean it up all nice, run individual grounds. So for now, we're not gonna do that because I can't really tell exactly what it's without looking up a diagram. It'll just be easier to do in the car. So we're gonna save that, go ahead and get the dash back in and all that stuff. But that's pretty much it for this episode. I wanna close this out by saying, you know, like I said earlier, I'm not completely against gutting your car. I just am trying to give you guys some insight as to why maybe you should hold off, maybe you should consider not doing it. I obviously didn't present all these crazy factual information. That's something we can dive more into at a later time if that's something you guys are interested in learning more about. But for now, that's it for this video. The next video will be putting the motor in and hopefully getting it running. So I'm really excited to show you guys that. The Miata is like this close to being back to life. So hopefully the next episode you'll see some burnouts. But for now, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. You guys are awesome. As always, so see you next time. Bye.
Did you use a socket?